Hey USY, how's everything going? My name is Max Bartel. I'm a member of the 2011 Rel Ed IGB. I'm 17 years old. I live in Long Island, New York, and I'm a Metney kid. So, go purple or go home. But please, 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 don't actually go home. We really, really, really like all of you. And stuff would be really lonely if you all went home. So please don't go home. So I'm sure a lot of you guys know, but we have a holiday, just around the corner, Passover. There are a lot of really, really interesting and fun aspects of Passover. Like a lot of other Jewish holidays, Passover focuses a lot on numbers, especially the number 4. But I'll talk about that a little bit later in the video. From 4 cups of wine, to the 10 plagues that God brought down on the Egyptians, to everyone's favorite, and I know my favorite song, Echad Mi'odea, Who Knows One. Numbers are really, really important to Passover. In the video, we'll talk about some of the traditions and really fun aspects of Passover. Alright, so one of the most popular things about Passover, and probably what the holiday is most well known for, is matzah, everyone's favorite food. Ugh. When the Israelites were fleeing Egypt, they didn't have enough time to let their bread rise because Pharaoh's army and the Egyptians were chasing them. And that's why on Passover we eat unleavened bread, matzah. But don't let the term unleavened bread throw you. On Passover, we aren't allowed to eat anything that has any bread, bread-based products, yeast, or anything like that at all, otherwise known as chametz. So another tradition of Passover is the retelling of the Passover story. One of the most important parts of the story, as everyone probably knows, is the 10 plagues. God brought down the 10 plagues on Egypt because Pharaoh refused to let the Jewish people go from slavery. 10 plagues are blood, which is dam, frogs, tzfardeya, lice, kinim, wild animals, which is arov, cattle disease, which is dever, boils, shrin, hail, barad, locusts, arbe, darkness, choshech, and the slaying of the firstborn, makat bechorot. So in my family, we have this really awesome tradition that has to do with the 10 plagues. In order to keep everyone entertained throughout the Seder, and also so that they'll all remember what the 10 plagues are, we give out plague bags that have a little something representative of each plague in every bag. So here's what we give out. For frogs, we have these little, bendable frogs, are awesome to play with, entertain all the little kids during the Seder. Lice, since we couldn't get actual lice because they'd be too small and probably get lost, we have insects. This is just one of the examples of lice we have in the Seder. For wild animals, we have these finger puppets that are all wild animals, and they're really fun to play with during the Seder. For cattle disease, we have the animals that were affected by cattle disease, not the actual ones, don't worry, but this is just one of the examples of an animal that was affected by cattle disease. For boils, it's really fun. We have these little bouncy balls, and you kind of put them in your shirt, and it looks like you actually have boils. But don't worry, I don't actually have boils. It's okay. For hail, we have these little spiked balls because this one happens to be orange because the hail was had fire and ice in it. So this is a combination of the fire and ice aspect. For locusts, we have these awesome dragonfly planes. They're really fun to play with and throw at each other during the Seder. Darkness, which is my favorite aspect of the Seder, is sunglasses. Awesome. Get to wear sunglasses during the Seder. And for Death of the Firstborn, we have these little babies. And we used to have a baby launcher, but we don't have it anymore. So you guys may have noticed, but I did leave one plague out. Blood, dam. This is because only the person who conducts my Seder has the ability to turn water into blood. I know you guys are probably sitting there thinking this is insane. I promise it actually happens. Unfortunately, my dad, who runs the Seder every year, has refused to perform this amazing feat on camera because he doesn't want people copying him. But it's okay because everyone who's watching this video is invited to my Seder this year, either one of them. And I promise if you show up at my door, you will be welcomed in and you can sit at my table and watch my dad turn water into blood. It'll be awesome. So you may or may not have noticed, but the number 4 is used a bunch of times throughout the Seder. 2 of those times are the 4 children of the Haggadah, and of course, the Ma'anis Shana. The Ma'anis Shana is a set of 4 questions, traditionally asked by the youngest child of the Seder. They talk about what's different on the Seder night from all other nights. The questions are, 1, why do we eat chametz on all other nights, but only matzah tonight? 2, why do we eat all other vegetables on all other nights, but only maror, bitter herbs, tonight? Why do we not dip our foods on all other nights, but tonight we dip twice? And why do we eat both sitting and reclining on all other nights, but tonight we only eat reclining? So obviously these questions aren't actual questions, but they're traditionally asked and answered through the actions of the Seder and by the end of the Seder. Another time we use the number 4 is when we talk about the 4 children. Used to be with the 4 sons, but it's more PC to say 4 children now. The 4 children are another really, really great symbol of Passover. They're the smart one, the wicked one, simple one, and the child who doesn't know how to ask questions. Tradition says that a little bit of each son, a little bit of each trait, is inside each of us. I can tell you that, believe me, I'm smart. I'm really, really wicked. I try not to be simple. And yeah, I often don't know how to ask a question. I just don't know what's going on. There are a lot of pictures of the 4 children. You know, some are symbolized by books, symbolized by people that have, you know, different colors. Some of the pictures are literal, while other pictures are more symbolic. All right, guys, that's about all the time we have today. It's been really, really awesome making this video. Hope I made you laugh. I really hope I smiled enough, too. That'd be cool. Hope to see you guys soon. If you have any questions, feel free to talk to Alex. He's International Rel Ed. Myself, my 2 friends on IGB, Jordan Brandt and Josh Sheed. Hey, guys. Or your regional Rel Eds. USY, it's been awesome. Before I go, I'd just like to make a quick shout-out to Metni USY, Chazak USY, BuzzFeed 2009, and, of course, the High Event winners, Group 9 2010, and Yuval Yosefi. This is Max Bartel, signing out.